Hello, welcome back. Today's video is going to be an introduction to Microsoft ToDo. ToDo is a Office 365 application. It is the individual task management application. In a previous video, we talked about the Microsoft Planner app, which is the team task management application. ToDo is its kind of complement, but we're looking at individual tasks, which means these are your tasks. This is the list that you manage for yourself. If you're familiar with tasks in Outlook, it's very similar. But this application used to be Wunderlist on our mobile app on our mobile phones or tablets. A few years ago, Microsoft bought the Wunderlist application and have evolved it into the Office 365 To-Do application. So if you're one of those people coming from Wunderlist, a lot of these things are going to seem very similar to you. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at, we're going to really dive in to this application more than talk about it. We'll jump in here, take a look at the tasks, how to add tasks, work with the tasks, look at some of the different views that are available within To-Do, as well as how to add different task lists as kind of sub lists so you can more easily organize your tasks. And we'll end with a look at some of the integration. Now, if you watched the planner video, you've already seen some of the planner integration. Is in that video, I highlighted how planner tasks show up in To-Do. I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to kind of retread that territory, but by looking at it in the other direction. So we'll have a little bit of a repeat there. Right now, I've logged into the Office portal at portal.office.com, and as you can see, To-Do is one of the applications at the top. But I can also get to it through the Waffle menu, through the Waffle All Apps, and find To-Do in that list, and fire it up and go right on in. And as you see, you end up when you open up the application, you end up on your main task list, which is your kind of laundry list of all the things that you have to do and that you've thrown in here. And like I say, these are individual tasks. So these are things that I have added in at one point or another, and even see I've got a few overdue ones. I was the one that put in the due dates and everything. So adding a task is pretty straightforward. It's a matter of just clicking and typing on in uh, the things that you have to do. Um, you just go ahead and type on in. You can even come in here, and so I'd have to correct that typo. I have to edit the task itself. We'll come back to that. Um, uh, I'm just going to add a few things. So here we go. I've added a couple of tasks. You see how easy that is. It's like any other task list that you use on your phone or in Outlook or any other like task management application you've ever used. A lot of similarities here. But we're going to take a look at when we edit each of these. If you click on the task, the right-hand pane pops up, and you can see a lot more details about it. So here for my little typo, I can go ahead and correct my typo. I'm going to skip over favoriting and my days, and I'm gonna go through just the stuff that you'd expect to find in any task management application. We've got the ability to add some due dates. We can have it remind me when to do these things. You can have repeatable tasks for the types of things that you want to have. Uh, if you do something like pay bills, pay my electric bill. That's probably I did set that up as a repeatable task. Happens every month, unfortunately. Uh, so as well, I can add notes. I can even add some attached files to these tasks. Now, I think at this point, I got to kind of address where things are stored. I mean, those tend to be common questions in the Office 365 world: is where is this data stored at? It is a cloud application. In this case, because it's individual, because it's your ownership, all of these things are stored in your Outlook inbox. They're not going to necessarily be visible there to you, but behind the scenes, it's all being stored with your inbox, so you can be relatively comfortable that the data you put in here is going to be secure to you, unless, of course, you make it available to others. So. So that's the case with attachments and notes. These are all going to be stored in your Outlook. Um, One thing that is kind of, I don't know if I should say it's unique because Wunderlist had this feature and other ones do, but if you're custom like me, I lazily use my task, my little reminder list app on my phone, and it doesn't have a lot of these features. But this one allows you to add steps as to things that you need to do to make the main task happen. Um, so we'll just put a few steps here, but they're not necessarily accurate. But as you can see, you can manage the sub steps that it takes to accomplish a task. That way, you don't have to have a million tasks. You can just have a single general task that then has a bunch of steps that you have to complete the task. And you can follow those separately. You can mark them as complete or incomplete. And you'll notice as you look at the tasks in your task list, it'll even show you how many steps you've completed when it's due, and whether you're getting reminders or not. As you can see on my electric bill, you can see that it's a recurring bill. So the information that you fill out on the right side is going to reflect in the main task list and give you some additional information as you're surveying your list of things that you need to do. Um, you can drag and drop the order as well. There's lots of different ways that you can manage this particular list. Um, I want to stop now and I want to kind of talk about a couple of other aspects. So you have an option to mark all these some items as important, as well as marking things for things to add to my day. What these two items do, whether you're marking it as important or adding it to your day, you're really setting up these views that are on the left hand side that help you focus. My example here with only five or six task items, not very overwhelming, but my real one is awfully overwhelming. And so sometimes uh, marking things for my that I want to do today or things that are just in general important help me slice and dice my long overwhelming list of 100 plus tasks. And as you use this app, you'll probably be in the same boat. You'll have millions of tasks, and the whole idea is that you want to have all the tasks in here. If you've ever read that book Getting Things Done and you're a subscriber to that methodology, you know that the idea is you dump everything into your task list, every little thing that you've got to do, and then you use the tools to help organize all those tasks and get things accomplished. That way you can focus on what's really important. You know, if you've ever read about Warren Buffett's 525 rule, that's another aspect of that, of help yourself to organize what you need to focus on, but still have a long list of everything that needs to get done, even the stuff that doesn't really matter. And that's how these two items help you to do that by setting up a simple priority and a simple stuff for my day. And as you click on each of those, you can see those items that you've designated. Um, and that's pretty much the basics of this application. If you can handle that, you can pretty much handle the rest of this of the ToDo app. Um, Planned and assigned to me are the interesting integration. These are the integrations with Microsoft Planner. And if you see my previous video, I've already highlighted these things. But you'll notice Planned integrates both the things that I've put on today, right, or you know, as well as those things that have been assigned to me in a planner somewhere. And these green items, ToDo is nice enough to give you a color coded scheme so you can tell which thing is from this application, and the green ones come from Planner. As well as you can see which planner it came from. This is from a plan called Microsoft Summit. It's got some steps that I've got to complete, and if I select it, I do get to see some of the details of what of this task in Planner, and I can work it. I can check the steps off as completed. I can add more steps if I need to. I can also add this particular planner task to my day. I can now now helps me focus not just on the tasks that I'm monitoring for myself, but tasks that are part of my projects that I'm working on. I can put them into my day and continue to make sure I'm tracking uh, my work appropriately. Lastly, you can also open it directly in Planner. The link will take you to that plan. You'll see I have to log in on this just because of the way I set everything up. But you see right away what it opens up Planner, and it opens up that task in Planner, so I can really look at the details and work with that task within the Planner application. So the last thing we'll look at is lists. As I mentioned earlier, if you've read the Getting Things Done book or you're a subscriber to that methodology, what the author talks about in that book is after you've kind of brain dumped every task, then you begin to organize those tasks into buckets, or in this case, into additional lists, in which you just kind of create sub organizations, and like tasks, you just start uh, typing typing in a name for the list, and it creates it for you automatically. And from there, you can use it like you do the main task list and just start typing in tasks, or you can drag and drop um, from the main task list to reorganize your tasks. And you'll notice this doesn't really affect any of the other things. If you set something as important or you set something to do in your day, it maintains that data for you. You're just right now at this point organizing your big, overwhelming task list into much more manageable buckets of things to do. Um, and so pretty easy, pretty straightforward uh, way of handling what you've got to do. And so that's kind of it. There's like I said at the beginning of this video, ToDo is a very straightforward application. It can be very helpful if you have a solid methodology to work with it. As with any to-do list, you got to work it, you got to manage it, do all that stuff. So, hope this video was helpful to you. Considerably shorter than most of my other ones, which is probably a good thing. So, if you liked what I've got here, definitely share it out there with the world. Maybe somebody else will benefit from the information that's in here. Thank you very much, and look forward to talking to you again.